Hi friends, my name is Shining Ange and welcome back to my channel. So today we are setting up for September in my bullet journal. This month's theme is rustic butterflies, something along that line. I'm using some stamps. The letters are from Michaels and the butterflies I got from Amazon along with my ink pad. And we're going to be using this paper that I had aged. I used some coffee and I put it in the oven. I will put the link for the method I used in the description for you all. And then I'm also going to be using some lined paper. It's a lot of pasting this time around. I'm really excited. It honestly came out amazing. I'm absolutely obsessed with how this month came out. Very collagey, very rustic, very cute. So for the calendar page, I used this crumpled up lined piece of paper with the aged paper that I had made for the calendar. Now for this page, I didn't do the same thing with the lined paper like I did on every other spread. So my original idea was to burn the edges to give it that old rustic look. But I ended up not doing that for this page, and then I tested it out on the main cover page and I loved it, so I continued with it. So I wish I would have burned the paper here, but I did not, but it's fine. Also, please be careful when burning paper. Just very careful. Just don't burn yourself, don't burn your house down. Please be careful. Also, random, but don't worry about my housecoat sleeves. I was cold. I wanted my housecoat on. Fight me. So for the cover page, here you can see me burning the paper and how I went about that. I found the method was to hold it straight up and down and then burn the edge, and so the flames kind of make the color on the edge, but then also the burns, and then I blow it out quickly. And then it made a mess. So there's lots of ashes. I went everywhere. I had to move my book off into the trash can and swipe off all that ashes off of it. But here you just see me kind of messing around with how all the paper is going to sit. I had a lot of fun with the scrapbooky, collagey type of feel this whole setup has going on. It took me a lot longer to set this up than I originally anticipated. I chose this theme so it would not take me that much time, but it took me a very long time. I had 4 or 5 hours of footage to edit down for you all, and I don't know why I did this to myself. But to add some stuff into all the white space, I'm going in with my trusty old gold and silver uniball pens and adding sparkles, dots, and making it sparkle. Well, I don't know why I said it like that, but sparkle, look at it sparkle, it's so pretty. And then of course going in with different washi tapes. One thing that I knew I really wanted to do when I first was thinking of this idea was I wanted red. I wanted to have red in this setup. I didn't know how I was going to incorporate it, but I just know I haven't really done red as a main color, so I wanted to add red, and that's where the red washi tape come in, and then I also used red marker for other things that you will see later. But now we are moving on to I forgot what spread this was for a second, but this is my habit tracker. I have slimmed down my habits to only 4 because I have finally gotten into the routine of washing my face, brushing my teeth, and flossing every single night. There was a couple times this month where I did not floss/wash my face, but one night I didn't floss because I didn't have floss with me because I went to my boyfriend Ian's house for 2 nights and I didn't account for the second night, so I didn't floss then. And then one night I was just feeling really sick after work. I don't know, I had a really weird day at work where at the end of my shift, it was the last hour, I started getting a really bad headache, so I took some ibuprofen, and then I started feeling really nauseous and weak, and the headache was not going away. So that is another day where I didn't go into the bathroom, I just went straight to bed. I was like, I feel disgusting. And then I slept it off, everything was fine. So that's a little tidbit of into my life, but that happened. But so I decided to cut those 2 habits off because it is pretty much a part of my daily routine now. I don't have to think about it. It just happens, which is good. I'm proud of myself for that. And that is the purpose of these habit trackers, to keep yourself accountable and to make it part of your daily routine, which I did, and it's 10 out of 10, love it, amazing. Now on this second page, I'll get more into why I put this page in a little bit, but this is a gratitude log. I had an extra space to put something, so I decided to try out gratitude logging. I've never done this before, we'll see how it goes. This is my first time, but I thought since I had the extra space, let's try something new, which I decided to go with gratitude log. I feel like I'm just repeating myself a little bit here. But yes, that's what this is. Very simple. I love how the header turned out on the side with the paper. It honestly is probably one of my favorite little combination of paper things going on in this entire spread. Love it, amazing, 10 out of 10. So now we are moving on to my next page, which is my spending tracker and my brain dump. Yes, I have condensed my spending tracker into one page this time around. Why? Because I have finally figured out my budgeting system. So I'm starting to do budget by paychecking, cash envelope system, and all that good stuff. So I really only needed a place to write down my transactions. So I didn't put in my monthly totals and whatnot. I didn't put that in. It's just tracking. And eventually, I think starting next year, I am going to buy the Budget Mom Budget by Paycheck workbook. I don't want to start it right now because one, they all start in January, so I don't want to start in the middle of the book. So once January comes around, I'm going to start using that to do all of my financing stuff. But for now, my spending tracker is staying in my journal. I know we finally have an update on my budgeting and system and all that good fun stuff. It's not going to be in a separate bullet journal, but it is going to have its own separate place. And then next to that, we have my brain dump page, which is staple classic. I used my brain dump page the most I've ever used it last month. There are months where I only write a couple things on my brain dump page, but last month I used the hell out of it. So I don't know why that was a tidbit of information that you needed to know, but that's what happened. And here we are setting up the brain dump page. I love how this one came out as well, how the paper goes up the side and it looks good. I like it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it, but I like it. Now moving on to all my weekly spreads. So this layout is a new layout that I kind of came up with, brainstormed. It gives me enough room to, if I want to, plan out everything that I want to do in my day. I have the space to do so. I don't do it every time, but I did mention this last month, but I do find myself writing down the order in like kind of a time frame. It's not set in stone, but I find myself doing that on sticky notes and pasting it in, and I want a layout that I can have that worked in without having the sticky note, because it's just sitting there and it's not like, hey, this is this day, this is what you're gonna do. Another thing I want to mention is how I did the borders. You also saw me do this on the spending tracker for the lines and for the habit tracker, but I wanted the lines to not be perfect. So what I ended up doing for these more structured areas was I did it with a ruler. I did all the outlines with the ruler, and then I just went in like with a squiggly line to kind of make it look more messy. And I really like how it turned out. I thought it was good. It could have been a little bit more messy looking, but it's fine. I like the way it came out anyway. And then for the fonts, I tried to mimic the font of my stamps on the days of the week, and it turns out pretty good. I really like it a lot. And then for this mini calendar, I used some of my aged paper to put the mini calendar on for this weekly. Now you'll see this in a minute, but I did mess up the calendar. I messed up the days, and then I squished the days of the week too far close to each other towards the end, and they were too far apart towards the beginning. So I ended up having to rip that out and put a new one in, but it wasn't that much of a big deal. At least it wasn't on the page. I know it was something I could rip up and replace. So there's that. I love how this first weekly came out. When I was trying to think of how to incorporate all the elements of the theme onto each weekly without being too overpowering for my usable space, I was really confused, and then I just kind of started messing around. A lot of this setup was just messing around. I didn't do a lot of planning. As you can see, I didn't do any sketching except for the weekly layouts where my days are gonna go. I didn't do any sketching, any planning at all, which I'm pretty sure is also part of the reason why this setup took me so long, because I was just kind of figuring out as I go, and I don't normally do that. But to the next weekly spreads, that was the only weekly spread I did as a 2-page spread. The rest I did as my normal 1-page rolling weekly spread that I've been doing for a while. I eventually want to make all of my weekly spreads the 2-page spread that I did for the first week, but I want to make sure I don't run out of pages in my journal. So for this month, since there is an extra week, I'm going to be testing out that new layout, and then for the rest of the month, stick with my other one. And I'm sure I'm going to like my new layout, but I didn't want to make everything that and then not run out of space. I don't know. That does not make any sense. I feel like I'm not making any sense, but I hope it makes sense to somebody. So for the decoration elements for this one in particular, I just put down the edge of the paper on the bottom, and then I added just a little bit of the burnt line paper to the corner, because I didn't really know how else to incorporate it. So this is the best I could do without it being too much. Oh, and then I also did this little piece right here. I also cut it up because it ended up being too big. And then I put more H paper there just to give it the more style, and then I did put a butterfly stamp on there as well. Honestly, I am so obsessed with these butterfly stamps. They're stunning. They look so good. I can't wait to build more of a stamp collection. I'm probably not going to use them for anything but my bullet journaling, but I love stamps. They're amazing. I also want to get different colored ink to like spice it up a little bit, but this is all future things and is not in my budget at the moment. I'll talk, if you guys want, I will make a video about my budgeting system once I am more used to it. It's only been a couple weeks now since I started budgeting the way that I have. So if y'all want a video on it, let me know. I might make it. Who knows? Another thing that I really want to start focusing on is my content in YouTube. I really do like vlogging. I know I only made one vlog, but I do want to make that and like making content more of a priority. Even if it takes me a whole month to edit and film a video, I'll do it. Like I want to, even if it's just a little bit here and there every day, I want to work towards making more content instead of just my monthly bullet journal videos. So that is something that I want to work on and for you to look out for. I'm really excited about it. So I hope you guys are too. And that also goes hand in hand with my Twitch streaming. I want to be more, I guess involved is not the right word to use, but put more effort into the content and into like the side stuff. I really want to start saving to get more emotes, to get more branded things, or even make them myself. Learn how to edit better, learn how to use Photoshop. Canva is what I really use because it's free. But learn these resources better so I can make better content. Like I really want to edit my videos a lot better than I do now, and so that's something that I really want to work on this month. Or in general, really, I want to work on it, not just this next month, but in general. Wow, I really talked y'all's ears off for the whole 15 minutes of this video. That never happens. But now we are about to head on over to the final flip through. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite spread is. And also don't forget to subscribe. I post videos right now every month, but soon, hopefully soon, it's gonna be more than a month. And also follow me on Twitch, please. We play games over there like Genshin Impact, Stardew Valley, and good cozy things. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for hanging out, and I love you all. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.